I scream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Summer is here and it's time to break out those homemade ice cream makers and make some homemade ice cream. So today I'm going to show you how to make one of our favorite homemade ice cream recipes. This recipe came from my mother-in-law Anne, and she got it from her sister Marguerite, and not sure where it came from there, but we have been making this recipe for many years, at least 35 that I know of. All right, so the first thing that you're gonna need is you just need a good bowl that can go in the microwave. You can cook this on top of the stove, but I think you could control it just a little bit better if you cook it in the microwave. So you're going to need 2.5 cups of sugar, 2 tablespoons of flour, and you want to make sure you whisk the flour and the sugar and mix it real well together. Like this. And then I'm going to slowly add 4 cups of milk, and I'll grab it. So I'm going to slowly, let me switch hands. Add the milk and just stir it in. Making a mess here. Of course, I tell my husband all great cooks make a mess. So once I get it stirred together, then I'm going to grab this real quick. And I'm going to put this in my microwave. Now, my microwave, oh goodness, it's about 7 to 8 minutes to cook this in mine. But be sure and check it every 2 minutes and pull it out. So after you've got it all stirred together, I'm just going to pick it up and I'm going to put it in my microwave. And I'm going to set my timer for 8 minutes. And every 2 minutes, I'm going to pull it out and I'm going to stir it and I'm going to check it. And then when I get to 7 minutes, I'm going to check it again to see if I need that extra minute. I don't want it to turn into a custard. I want it just to melt the sugar, and it's just a little bit thick, and then I can pull it out. When I say thick, it's going to coat the back of a silver spoon. So you'll see in just a minute. All right, so our first stir, we're right at 6 minutes, and I'm going to stop it. I'm going to give it a quick stir. Keep mixing that sugar that settles to the bottom. Now the flour was added, the 2 tablespoons of flour is added to thicken it up some. I'll put that in. And we'll stir again in 4 minutes. All right, so here we are at 4 minutes. I'm gonna pull it out again. I'm gonna give it a quick stir. And now I'm starting to feel the whisk go pretty smoothly through the mixture. I don't feel the sugar settling on the bottom. So we'll go for 2 more minutes. And so this is the recipe that's been passed down to my family. You see how yellow and used, and it's got, from cooking all sorts of things, but family recipes are always the best. Alrighty, so I have cooked it in the microwave, and I just want to show you when you coat that spoon, it just coats it real good. If it's thick, you've gone to a custard and you've gone too far. You can still make ice cream out of it. However, it will taste more like a custard vanilla ice cream. And that's still good. All right, so next you want to take 2 eggs. You want to beat them up. And we're going to temper the eggs with the ice cream mixture, and the easiest way to do this, and the reason why I'm doing this, if I was just to put the eggs straight into my hot mixture, it's going to turn into scrambled eggs. And I'm going to have scrambled eggs in my ice cream, so I certainly don't want to do that. So that's why I go ahead and I beat my eggs, and then I'm going to take just a little bit, get your ladle or a cup, and you're going to slowly add that to your eggs, and it's called tempering your eggs and bringing them up to almost the same temperature as your mixture here. Don't just slowly do it. I'm gonna add one more. Done that, and I'm going to come back to my whisk, and now I'm going to stir and add it to my mixture, my eggs to my mixture, and keep stirring until you mix them really good. And I've got 4 teaspoons of good vanilla extract. I'm going to add that in. And then I'm gonna cover and put this in the refrigerator. It's best if you do it the night before so it gets good and cold before we add it to the ice cream maker for churning. If we were to add it right now, I'm gonna go through a lot of ice and salt. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it the night before, put it in the refrigerator, and then it'll be ready for me the next day. All right, so now it's the next day. We've got our ice cream mixture ready to go. There's one other thing we need to add, and that is some cream and some milk. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my, I guess the bottle, for lack of better words, or basin. I'm gonna take my spatula out. And in here will be, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a fill line for the ice cream maker. So you don't wanna fill it up with liquid over the fill line. And so be sure and check your own basin when you get ready. Otherwise, when it starts freezing, it's gonna kind of push out and cause a big mess. All right, so 4 cups of whipping cream, which is 2 pints. And sometimes you can buy a pint. This is a pint, this is 2 cups. But sometimes you can find the taller containers, and it's just one of those tall ones, as long as it's 4 cups, 32 ounces. So I'm going to add that in there, and then I'm going to take my milk, and I'm going to add to the fill line. I'm going to give it a quick stir. And then we will add it to our ice cream maker, some salt and ice, and pack it and churn it. So once you get the top on your ice cream maker, you're just gonna put your ice in. And then make sure you get rock salt. And I really think the more rock salt, the better. It's gonna churn faster. And I put a lot of rock salt. And then you just keep doing your layers and you fill it up. And then we will turn it on and leave it alone. And it's gonna take anywhere from 30, 40 minutes to maybe an hour, depending on the temperature outside and how cold your ice cream mixture was. So we'll check it again in just a little bit. Alrighty, so it has stopped churning. Let's open it up and take a look at it. Look at that. That looks pretty yummy. Now what I typically would do is I would pull out the spatula, and usually my son calls dibs on the spatula, so that's his. And then I would probably pack it with some more ice or put it in the freezer and let it set up. And then it would get a little bit firmer. But today, so you can see the finished product, let's just scoop some out. And look how yummy that looks. Look at there. So there you have it, homemade ice cream, the Howell family recipe. If you like this video, please click like and subscribe for future videos. We appreciate you watching. I'm Diana Howell with the Howell Group at Keller Williams.